happens in silence? What is possible in silence? I learned recently that this thing that we tell our kids when they're like losing their minds, they're reacting to something, and we say, just take a breath. Did your parents ever say that to you? Just stop. Yes. You have very wise parents. This thing that we teach our children, that we say to ourselves, just take a breath, actually has a physiological reason. It tells your vagus nerve. Do you know this? When your lungs expand, your vagus nerve is pushed on a little bit, and it tells your brain that it is not necessary to go into the fight or flight response. It says to your brain, it's okay. We've got this. Whatever it is that we are responding to, we can manage. We don't need to kill that wild animal, and we don't need to run away from that wild animal, which is what our very ancient brains think we need to do in any moment of threat, of danger. I think it's very hard to have a moment of silence and not take that breath. Try it. You're not going to last very long. Because somehow that act of stopping the talking leads us to that deep breath. And that deep breath then leads us to an opportunity to respond in some very elevated human way, or at least potentially. That we don't have to respond as the animal parts of us, but we can respond as the human parts of us. And in this week's Torah portion, Aaron is silent. Aaron responds to the sudden and unimaginable destruction of his two sons, to the greatest tragedy we can, probably most of us, imagine. Aaron responds not by saying, "Oh, God must have wanted this," or "they're in a better place," or "I'll be happier now," or any of the terrible, stupid things that people we know say to each other when they are struck by tragedy. And even we say to ourselves. Instead, Aaron here, in a passage that is so incomprehensible, offers us a teaching that is eternal. Vayidom Aharon. Aaron was not just quiet, which would be sheket, but vayidom, he was silent. I think it is an offering from Torah that we can tap into silence, and if we do, then these amazing created bodies will work in such a way that we will take a breath, that our vagus nerve will be compressed for a moment, that our brain will get the message that we can be okay. And then perhaps after that silence, we will have some inspiration and know how we are to proceed. in all of our lives, we will be faced with tragedy, our own or those of those closer to us. May we take the permission that Aaron here gives us to be silent, and from that silence to gain possibility. Shabbat shalom.